Hello everyone and welcome again to the Tacoma Cyclist. I am the Tacoma Cyclist and with me as always is the Boogeyman. Today we're going to be reviewing this. The Tacx Bushido Smart Trainer. Now, a little preface before we get going. I actually cut another review of this exact trainer and was about to post it to YouTube and then realized that I had over 20 minutes of a review going on there. So that'll tell you just how much I actually have to say about this particular trainer. In this case, I'm actually going to give you a slightly shorter review. I don't think anybody wants to watch me talk about a trainer for 20 minutes, especially since I'm not going to be really doing all that much. I'll show the trainer in use. I'll talk a little bit about its functions, but I'm not going to go into a 20-minute review about a smart trainer. That being said, I feel strongly enough about this trainer that I could have easily spoken for 20 minutes, and that doesn't even include the stuff that we cut out. So first thing first, we're going to actually show you a quick unboxing. This unboxing is just a real basic one. So let me go ahead and show you the real basics of unboxing this and putting it together. As you can see, unboxing this trainer is actually quite simple. It's a very small box overall. It doesn't take up much space and it ships pretty easily. Many places will even offer still free shipping on this because it's so small. It is relatively heavy. It weighs in probably a good 30 pounds or so, but it's not so heavy that it can't be carried. As a matter of fact, Boogeyman, with his typical cyclist upper body, had no problem carrying these trainers up and down stairs. So they are pretty flexible, pretty portable. Which actually is really one of the great benefits of this particular trainer. It's really portable. It's so portable, the one thing you didn't see on the box is a power cable. It doesn't need a power cable. It doesn't use a power cable. However, it is a powered trainer. It generates its own electricity. So there's some really cool aspects to that, and I'll get to that in just a minute. The other thing about this particular trainer is it's incredibly flexible. As I'll show you shortly, there's a lot of different ways you can actually use this trainer. You can use it with a tablet. You can use it with a smartphone. You can use it with a computer. You can use it with any of the number of cycling apps that are out there now. Zwift, Be Cool, Trainer Road, any of those other ones as well. In this particular case, these trainers broadcast on both Bluetooth and on ANT+. They do meet the ANT+ FEC protocol, or Fitness Equipment Controllable Protocol. So any data that's coming from the computer or from the tablet, including things like gradient, will be transmitted to that, and the power brake will kick in and will make you feel like you're climbing those hills. And they feel pretty accurate too. So when you feel like you're climbing a 7% hill in real life, it feels like that on the trainer as well, which is great. It doesn't leave anything to the imagination. I've had this thing kick up to 13-14% grades, and it really feels like you're doing a 13-14% grade. So really, it's a very flexible unit. You can use it with just about any of the software that's out on the market right now. You can use it with almost any platform, Android, iPhone, Mac, PC, and you're good to go. So I'm going to demonstrate this trainer in use just for a few moments here. I'm going to show you a couple things about things like noise level and the use on the tablet and the tablet app that comes with it. Okay, so if you couldn't tell from my previous comments, we really like this trainer. Like I said, I've got a 20-minute plus video on how much I like it and talking about the various features of this trainer. But let me tell you a couple of the things that most people really are concerned with. Noise. This trainer, as you just saw, is actually really quiet. When we've got 2 or 3 of these side by side, we can easily carry on conversations in the studio here. We can easily have a television program on and really not have to worry about cranking it up or yelling. It's very easy to have that conversation. If the Boogeyman and I are training here in the studio and my wife is downstairs, she can read a book, she can be on the phone, she can be watching TV, and it's not disturbing her, even on an upstairs level where you're going to get a little bit extra noise transmission. It's just not that noisy. It's a very quiet unit. It's really flexible overall. It's pretty stable, and it's built pretty well. The triangle itself, the housing for the triangle itself is a solid metal. The legs are metal. It's going to be pretty stable. The head unit, the magnet unit there, also pretty stable, also pretty solid, but I will say that the exterior is a little bit of a cheap plastic. That's the only ding that I have for this, is that the external parts of this are a little on the cheap side. But it doesn't affect the ability of the unit to take a beating and keep working. So it's more of a cosmetic thing. No big deal there. The other thing is stability. A lot of people get worried about stability on trainers. This young man here found himself on our previous mag unit, getting out of the saddle, going for a nice solid sprint. The next thing you know, he's laying on the floor of the garage sideways with his bike on top of him and a trainer tipped over. After I got done laughing at him for a little while, I checked to make sure he was okay, the bike was okay, the trainer was okay, everything was fine. But, of course, it definitely makes you wonder. Some of these things, they're not very stable. I'm not going to lie, this one's not super stable. It's not going to be something like the Comfy trainer where you could rock side to side and that thing's not going anywhere. You can get this thing to move side by side, or side to side. Just be a little cautious. The first couple times you use it, go ahead, get out of the saddle, twist around a little bit, see what it does. You will start to get the feel of it pretty quickly. Neither of us have ever gone down on this trainer to the point where we tip over, but we both have gotten to the point where we can get it to wobble a little bit. Once you get the feeling of that under your legs, you'll understand what it's going to do, how it's going to react, and how it works. So one of the other big questions that we get a lot of times is, how does this compare to other trainers? So in this studio, we had a Comfy trainer set side by side with these. We don't have the Comfy trainer anymore. I owned that unit, didn't find it to be very useful. I see we have a guest now in the studio with us. We had the Comfy trainer side by side with the unit, and honestly, the Comfy trainer is nice, but the software just doesn't stack up. It's not as extensible as this. This will work with everything: tablets, phones, computers. The Comfy trainer worked only with its software and a couple other titles that had been kind of manipulated into working backwards with it. The feel of the Comfy trainer was much more solid, I'm not going to lie, but then again, it's also almost $1,000 more, so you have to kind of assume it's going to be a little bit more solid. But that being said, there's also a lot of wires hanging off a Comfy trainer, and there are no wires hanging off this. This is a completely wireless unit. It's completely portable, and that's one of the things we like. Comparing it to other units, that's the first thing you have to think about with this, is that it is completely portable. You can pack it up, take it with you on race day. It only weighs a little bit more than a traditional trainer. You can throw it up in the field and put your bike on it, and you can have a workout in your tablet, in your phone with you, and you can do your workout. You can do your intervals prior to that race, and you can make sure that you're always doing the same consistent level of performance prior to your race. So your warm-up can be 100% consistent every single time. As far as I'm concerned, there's no other trainer on the market that I'm aware of that can do that. So this is kind of in a league of its own. Totally worth it. Again, the plastics are a little bit cheap on the outside, but otherwise the trainer is a very solidly built unit. It's incredibly flexible. It's incredibly solid. I can't recommend this trainer enough. It's just an amazing trainer. So that's the long and short of it. This is, again, the short review. I certainly have more to say on it. If anybody has any questions, I'm happy to field those. Just put them in the comment section below, and we'll answer any and all questions you might have about this trainer in comparison to some of the other trainers that are out there, or how you set it up. So thanks again for stopping by our channel. Make sure you subscribe and hit thumbs up. Thanks a lot.